I'm Raza Lawrence. I'm a partner at Margolin & Lawrence, and we largely represent people accused of marijuana crimes.
My name is Allison Margolin, and I'm a criminal defense attorney.
I feel passionate about defending marijuana-related crimes, and I believe that our system is doing a great injustice to these people by destroying their lives and the lives of their families.
The biggest reason, that the federal government still continues to do what they do, in my opinion, is two things: is bureaucratic politics and the financial aspect.
I think, why does this law persist against reason? They've always been doing it this way, that there's a lot of people employed in law enforcement who make a living off this. They're not sure what they would do if it became legal.
Police departments here, both local, and the feds are very supported by the asset forfeiture. The DEA, without having marijuana and other drugs, wouldn't be.
The DEA has been focusing a lot on California compared to other states. I think in large part because California hasn't regulated medical marijuana as strongly as some other states.
It's interesting because California, being the first state to basically immunize medical marijuana activities, did something more conservative than the other states, which was just providing immunity for limited activities, which is actually consistent with the federal law.
The feds see people as sort of thumbing their nose at the law, and they want to go in and set an example.
The federal law says you can't regulate marijuana, so a state is allowed to not impose its own restrictions on marijuana, but a state is not allowed to regulate it itself. But now we have the feds saying, oh, but if you are regulating it, now we're not going to bother you. So it's very ironic.
People who are nonviolent offenders, a lot of times they're following state law. They're trying to follow these confusing patchwork of laws that we have. They get caught up in the federal system, and they have these very harsh mandatory minimums that end up a lot of times over 10 years in a federal prison. The federal government is very powerful, and if you cross them, they'll come in and ruin your life.
It's a difference between what's gone on here and what's gone on in Colorado and Washington. The biggest discriminating factor is that there is so much more money in California.
Most people wouldn't really notice any repercussions because I don't think most people either use marijuana or don't use marijuana because it's legal or illegal. You might actually see drunk driving offenses going down. You might see rates of violence going down because people who would otherwise have been drunk would be substituting it with marijuana.
I don't think there's any person who intelligently believes that criminalizing marijuana is rational. I mean, I don't even think that conservative people in the government believe that.
A lot of defendants in drug cases don't have the money to hire a private lawyer, and they end up taking deals, pleading out to felonies because they haven't been served right by our justice system.
The effect of the DA's misinterpreting it is that most people end up pleading guilty, basically. I mean, what do I believe is going to happen federally? I think that the Obama administration is going to reschedule marijuana.
I would like to believe that Obama is planning to liberalize some of the federal marijuana policy.
People don't realize is that the president can do it himself, doesn't need Congress. That's part of his authority. So he could reschedule it tomorrow.